Whether I'm on a beach or in a mountain or even standing in my driveway when the sun dips and the sky colors change, my body tells my mind to take a break. My thoughts become quiet and I let my senses take over, becoming immersed in the natural spectacle before me. I don't think I'm alone in this. I love being part of a sunset watching beach crowd who give the sun thunderous applause whenever it sinks into the ocean. And as we have more chattering on the web and on the TV, isn't a lovely quiet sunset watching session exactly what we need to reset? We know what to do with a sunset. However, on the whole, we don't quite know what to do with an abstract painting. Today, let's look at Mark Rothko's painting Orange on Red from 1957 at the Phillips Collection in Washington, D.C., and see if your sunset watching can translate into modern painting appreciation. This painting is made with thin washes of oil paint, with loose, undefined edges within larger expanses of color. The horizontal bands bring calm, and this color combination can remind us of the end-of-day sunset color palette. This painting is big, nearing 6 by 6 feet, and it hangs in Gallery 213 at the Phillips Collection. This room is constructed to display this and other large-scale paintings by Rothko. There's not much to think through here. No hidden symbolism, no historical event, no biblical narrative. It's so simple with large patches of color. Rothko was painting in New York in the 1950s with a group of artists known as the abstract expressionists. These artists felt called to paint in a way they themselves described as the most pure painting. To them, painting things to look real was not the goal of painting at all. Instead, they wanted to use the basic elements of art, line, shape, color, to tap into the most basic and raw parts of our humanity. A lofty goal, to be sure, and a pretty heavy space, but let's think of it this way. In Van Gogh's painting of Starry Night, he gives us subject matter, correct? Van Gogh paints the sloping hills of the Alpilles, a low mountain range in France. Would you say that the reason we love Van Gogh's Starry Night is because it creates a likeness of the beautiful Alpilles mountains? No, of course not. We love Van Gogh's landscape because of the churning lines through the sky and thick swirling motion around the stars. We love that this painting with shapes and colors evoke a type of intense emotion. The landscape is neither here nor there, but Van Gogh felt bound to a subject matter to fit what was the very definition of art, a picture of something. But what if the artist could bypass the landscape? What if we could skip the part where we try to make the painting look like something? When Rothko and other abstract expressionists ditched the subject matter and focused completely on line, shape, and color, they gave us, the viewers, a job. We no longer get to breeze by pretty landscapes and portraits with no active engagement. Instead, Rothko's paintings give us an invitation. He says in his work, you can come to this rich, pure field of color. It's big enough so that when you stand in front of it, you are completely immersed in color. Your field of vision has no other visual input. Take some time to open your eyes, let the color in, and most importantly, stop thinking. Experience the color and give yourself time. Thinking about the historical moment in which Rothko finished this painting, I imagine his paintings were absolutely needed by his viewers who came to see his work in DC. Imagine a generation of veterans returning from the trauma of World War II, and in the bustling material culture of the United States, and few health resources to offer those who were witnesses of the atrocities of war. It was Rothko who invites all to enter the color and process what had happened. In his own words, what we recall are not memories, but old emotions, disturbed or resolved. Some sense of well-being suddenly shadowed by a cloud. Rothko's color bands are simple, but he's exploring big ideas. When we enter our color meditation, there's security and clarity in the solid colors, and the edges melt, or many times simply fade, before the other color begins. This zone is a liminal space, and it was these edges that have no certainty. For Rothko, the blurred space is where he saw himself throughout his life, an immigrant as a child who was neither fully Russian nor fully American, raised to be Jewish, but did not own his faith, and could not reconcile his intellectual ideas with the money that made the art world turn. He used the edges to express basic human vulnerability, the fact that we don't know and can't make sense of some things. In the end, Rothko gives us a focal point for our meditation. When you see his work, I hope you'll give yourself a bit of time to enter into his color, turn off your brain, and let yourself go.